The alarm system screamed across every military base on Earth. Something big had just appeared near the moon. Something that was not human. Captain Lisa Morgan was in her quarters on the defense ship Valiant when the emergency call came through. She jumped out of bed, pulled on her uniform, and ran to the bridge. Her heart was beating fast. This was it, the moment humanity had been preparing for but hoping would never come. When she reached the bridge, her crew was already at their stations. The main screen showed an image that made her stomach drop. A massive alien ship hung in space beyond the moon. It was huge, at least 8 kilometers long. The ship was black as midnight, covered in strange glowing lines that pulsed like veins carrying blood. Lieutenant Jake Harris looked up from his communication station. His face was pale. "Captain, we are getting a message from that ship. It is being translated now." Lisa walked to the center of the bridge. She stood straight, trying to look calm even though fear was crawling up her spine. "Put it through," a voice filled the bridge. It sounded cold and mechanical, like a computer trying to sound human. The words made everyone stop breathing. "Primitive species of the third planet. You have been evaluated. Your world contains resources required by the Krenth Collective. You have 72 of your hours to evacuate your military vessels from orbital space. Compliance will result in a swift harvest. Resistance will result in extinction." The message ended. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. Lisa felt anger rising inside her chest, pushing away the fear. This alien ship had just shown up and told humanity to get out of the way so they could strip Earth for parts, like humans were nothing, like Earth was just a resource to be taken. "Get me a connection to Earth Command," Lisa said. Her voice was steady now. "And I want every bit of information about that ship. Size, weapons, power sources, everything." The crew moved into action. Lisa sat in her command chair and watched the alien ship on the screen. It just floated there, dark and menacing, waiting for humanity to run away. Over the next 12 hours, the picture became clearer. The alien ship, which scientists were calling Contact 1, was carrying weapons that could destroy cities from orbit. Their shields could probably stop anything humanity could throw at them. Scans showed it was just one ship, designed to harvest planets for useful materials, just one ship. But it was enough to threaten the entire planet. Admiral Patrick Hayes called a meeting of all ship commanders. Lisa joined through a holographic link. Her image appeared in a virtual conference room along with 24 other captains and commanders. Admiral Hayes looked tired. The stress of the situation showed on his weathered face. "We have 3 choices," he said. "We can evacuate, giving humanity time to escape to the colonies on Mars and Europa. We can try to negotiate, though the Krenth have ignored every message we have sent. Or we can fight." Commander Paul Bennett spoke up. "Sir, fighting is suicide. We tested our weapons on their hull. They barely made a scratch." Lisa leaned forward. "Then we do not try to scratch their hull. We go for weak points, weapon systems, engines, power relays. We hit them with everything at once from all directions." Admiral Hayes looked at her. "Captain Morgan, you understand we will probably lose." "I understand that if we run, they will just hunt us down at the colonies," Lisa said. "I understand that our children will grow up as refugees, always hiding, always afraid. And I understand that sometimes you have to stand and fight, even when the odds are bad. Maybe we can hurt them enough that they decide Earth is too much trouble." The Admiral nodded slowly. "Then we vote. 20 commanders voted to fight. 12 voted to evacuate. 5 could not decide. Then we fight," Admiral Hayes said. "All ships prepare for battle. We attack in 18 hours." Lisa returned to her bridge. Her mind was racing through battle plans and tactics. Around her, the crew prepared quietly. They knew they might die. They were doing it anyway. Jake approached her station. "Captain, I found something. There is an anomaly in their power systems. Look at this." Lisa studied the data on his screen. Buried in the readings was a small fluctuation in the alien ship's energy output. It was minor, barely noticeable, but it was there. "What am I looking at?" she asked. "I think it is a power relay," Jake said. "It channels energy from their reactor to their weapons. If we could overload it somehow, it might cascade through their entire weapon system." Lisa felt a cold smile on her face. "Good work. Send this to all ships. We just found our target." The hours before battle passed slowly. Lisa walked through her ship talking to her crew. In the mess hall, she found a group of young officers sitting together. They looked scared. "Captain, are we really doing this?" asked Lieutenant Amy Crawford. Lisa sat down with them. "Yes, we are. I will not lie. The odds are not good, but we are not fighting because we think it will be easy. We are fighting because we have to, because this is our home. A young officer named Kyle Martinez spoke quietly. My sister just had a baby down on Earth. I keep thinking about them. If we fail, at least we gave them a chance, Lisa said. And maybe we are tougher than these aliens think. She went back to her quarters and recorded a message for her parents. She kept it short. She did not trust her voice if she talked too long. On the bridge, the final hours counted down. 37 human ships gathered in formation around the alien vessel. It was probably the biggest show of human military power ever assembled in space. It still looked tiny compared to the alien ship. All ships ready, Captain, Jake reported. Open a channel, Lisa ordered. All frequencies. Make sure they hear this. The channel opened. Lisa stood up and spoke clearly. Attention, Krenth vessel. This is Captain Lisa Morgan of the Earth Defense Force. You came to our world and threatened our people. You gave us an ultimatum. Here is our response. She paused, letting the silence build. You want our planet? Come and take it. But understand this. Every ship, every weapon, every person on Earth will fight you. You think we are weak? You think we are primitive? Then come ahead. Try to take our world. We dare you. She nodded to Jake, who ended the transmission. Her executive officer, Commander Helen Foster, looked worried. Captain, was that wise? Making them angry? They were coming anyway, Lisa said. But now they know we will not surrender. Sometimes you have to show your teeth before the fight starts. 60 seconds later, the alien ship powered up its weapons. Energy readings spiked across all frequencies. Targeting systems locked onto the human fleet. All ships, Admiral Hayes said over the fleet channel. Attack on my mark. Target that power relay. Show them what humans can do. Lisa felt her heart pounding. Helm, attack speed on the Admiral's mark. Weapons, get me a firing solution on that relay. The crew responded. Everyone was ready. The alien ship fired first. Purple energy beams tore through space, destroying 2 human frigates instantly. Mark! Admiral Hayes shouted. The battle for Earth had begun. The Valiant lurched forward with the rest of the fleet. Engines burned hot as 37 human ships charged toward the massive alien vessel. The Krenth ship fired again and again. Each shot was deadly accurate. Lisa gripped the arms of her command chair as another frigate exploded on the main screen. The ship had been there 1 second, carrying 200 crew members. The next second it was just debris and fire spreading through empty space. Evasive maneuvers, she ordered. Do not give them an easy target. The Valiant twisted and turned through space, dodging the purple energy beams. All around them, other ships were doing the same. Some made it. Some did not. A carrier took a direct hit and started spinning out of control, atmosphere venting from huge holes in its hull. But the fleet kept coming, closer and closer to the alien ship. 20 seconds to firing range, called out Lieutenant Nick Palmer from the weapons station. All power to forward shields, Lisa said. A beam passed so close to the Valiant that the shields flared bright white. The ship shook but held together. 10 seconds. Steady, Lisa said. Wait for it. The bridge crew worked in focused silence. Nobody spoke except to report critical information. They all knew their jobs. They had trained for this, even though they never really believed it would happen. Firing range achieved, Nick announced. All weapons. Fire everything we have, Lisa commanded. The Valiant's railguns roared, sending metal slugs at incredible speed toward the alien ship. Missile pods opened and released their payloads. Energy weapons added their fire to the barrage. Across the fleet, 35 remaining ships did the same, all targeting the power relay that Jake had identified. The concentrated firepower was incredible. Hundreds of projectiles and missiles streaked through space, overwhelming the alien ship's defensive systems. Most were destroyed by point defense lasers, but some got through. The first impacts hit the power relay, then more, then even more. For a terrible moment, nothing happened. Lisa held her breath. Then the alien ship's weapons flickered. We have a power fluctuation, Jake shouted. It is spreading through their weapons grid. On the screen, the alien ship's weapons went dark one by one as the overload cascaded through their systems. The massive vessel just hung there, suddenly defenseless. All ships target their engines, Admiral Hayes ordered. Do not give them time to recover. The fleet turned as one, pouring fire into the alien ship's engine section. This time, without point defense to stop them, the damage was devastating. Explosions rippled along the hull, Sections of the ship broke apart and tumbled away into space. Lisa watched with fierce satisfaction. They had done it. Humanity had actually hurt this thing. "Captain, we are receiving a transmission from the alien ship," Jake said. His voice was filled with disbelief. "Put it on screen." The cold mechanical voice that had threatened Earth now sounded different. There was something in it that might have been surprise or respect. "Cease fire. The Krenth Collective acknowledges your resistance. This sector is marked as defended. We withdraw." The damaged alien ship slowly turned and began limping away from Earth. Its engines sputtered and smoked, but they worked well enough to carry it away. "Should we follow them?" Helen asked. "Finish them off?" Lisa shook her head. "No, let them go. Let them tell the rest of the Krenth what happened here. Let them tell everyone that Earth fights back." Cheers erupted across the bridge. The crew hugged each other, laughed, cried. They had survived. Earth had survived, but Lisa did not cheer. She was looking at the casualty reports coming in. 7 ships completely destroyed, 9 more damaged so badly they could not fight, 417 crew members dead, another 200 wounded. Each number was a person. Someone's child or parent or friend. The victory celebration back on Earth was huge. People danced in the streets. They sang and cried and held each other. Humanity had faced an alien threat and won. But for those in the military, the celebration was quieter. They held a memorial service at Earth Command headquarters. Admiral Hayes read the names of the fallen. All 417 names. It took hours. Lisa stood with the other captains, holding herself together through the ceremony. Later, alone in her quarters, she cried for the people they had lost. The world governments reacted quickly to the crisis. The United Earth Council, which had mostly been a place for diplomacy, was given real power to coordinate planetary defense. Money and resources poured into military research and ship construction. Lisa was promoted to Commodore and given command of 12 ships. The Valiant would still be her flagship, but now she would coordinate an entire battle group. "Congratulations," Helen said as they reviewed their new assignments. "Thanks," Lisa replied. But she was distracted, studying the data they had collected from the alien ship. "Helen, look at this. Their technology is advanced but not impossible to understand. We are maybe 50 years behind them. That is good, right?" "It should be. But if they are only 50 years ahead of us, and they go around harvesting worlds like it is normal business." Lisa did not finish the sentence, but Helen understood. "You think there are more aliens out there, more powerful ones. I think the galaxy is crowded, and I think we just announced our presence to everyone." 3 months later, Lisa's fears came true. The Valiant was on patrol near Jupiter when sensors detected gravitational anomalies. 5 ships appeared out of nowhere, dropping out of faster-than-light travel. These ships looked nothing like the Krenth vessel. They were sleek and elegant with smooth curves instead of harsh angles. "Captain, we are receiving a transmission," Jake said. "It is in English." A holographic figure appeared on the bridge. It looked almost human but was clearly alien, tall and thin with forearms and skin that changed colors from blue to green. The face was angular with large, intelligent eyes. "Greetings, Captain Morgan," the figure said. Its voice was pleasant and clear. "I am Ambassador Venn of the Galactic Cooperative. We heard about your encounter with the Krenth. Very impressive. We would like to speak with your leaders about Earth's future." Lisa felt her stomach tighten with worry and excitement. "Ambassador Venn, welcome to our system. I am sure Earth Command will want to meet you. Can I ask what the Galactic Cooperative is?" "Of course. The Cooperative is an alliance of 347 species. We work together for mutual benefit and protection. We trade, share technology and knowledge, and defend each other against threats like the Krenth. And you want Earth to join?" The ambassador's expression seemed amused. "We would like to discuss it. Your species showed courage and smart thinking against the Krenth. We value those qualities, but I should speak with your world leaders about this." Over the following weeks, diplomatic teams from the Cooperative met with the United Earth Council. They shared information about the galaxy and where humanity fit into it. Lisa attended one briefing. Sitting in the back as Ambassador Venn displayed a holographic map of space. "You are here," Venn said, pointing to a small star on the edge of a spiral arm. "The Cooperative controls this region. A large area lit up in blue. The Krenth hold this territory. A smaller but still big area glowed red, There are also independent species and unexplored regions. Where do we fit? Asked Premier Victoria Hughes, the head of the United Earth Council. That is your choice, Ven replied. The cooperative offers membership. You would get access to our technology, trade, and mutual defense. In return, you would help with collective security and follow cooperative law. What if we refuse? Then you stay independent. We can still trade and offer limited technology, but you would be responsible for your own defense. Given the Krenth's interest in your world, that might be difficult. The debate went on for weeks. Some people said joining was humanity's best chance to survive and advance. Others said humanity should stay independent, not submitting to alien authority so soon after proving themselves. Lisa was called to testify before the council. Commodore Morgan, Premier Hughes said, "You have more contact with aliens than almost any human." What do you think we should do? Lisa thought carefully before answering. Ma'am, we need to be realistic. We won one battle against one ship. The Krenth have thousands of ships and they are just one power among many. Joining the cooperative gives us protection and technology. But we should negotiate from strength. We proved we are not helpless. Any agreement should reflect that. We are not joining as beggars. We are joining as equals. In the end, the council voted to join, but with conditions. Earth would keep its own military. Human law would still apply to humans, and Earth would have a say in military operations that affected human space. The cooperative agreed. The next 2 years changed everything for humanity. Technology from the cooperative started flowing to Earth and the human colonies. Faster-than-light drives that did not need massive amounts of energy. Manufacturing techniques that could make materials with incredible efficiency. Medical advances that could extend human lifespans by decades. But humans gave things back too. The cooperative was very interested in how humans thought about tactics and what they called humanity's aggressive adaptability. They wanted to understand how humans could think so quickly in combat. Lisa found herself assigned to a joint task force with cooperative military ships. Her battle group worked alongside alien vessels to patrol the border regions. It was not easy. The cooperative species had been working together for so long that they had developed standard procedures for everything. Humanity, being new, often found these procedures slow or too cautious. The problem is they fight by committee, Commander Helen Foster said during a strategy meeting. Every major decision requires input from representatives of multiple species. They are trying to make sure no one species dominates military operations, Lisa replied. She was reading reports from other joint task forces and seeing the same complaints. But you are right. In combat, you need someone who can make quick decisions. The problem came to a head during a pirate raid. Lisa's task force was patrolling near a cooperative mining colony when distress calls came in. A fleet of raiders, probably Krenth privateers working outside official channels, had attacked the colony. They were stealing refined metals and equipment. How many ships? Lisa asked. 15, Commodore, Jake replied. Mixed classes. Our task force has 18 vessels, but 12 are cooperative ships. Contact the task force commander. Tell them we need to move now before the raiders escape. What followed was a frustrating hour. The cooperative task force commander, a Valorian named Zir, had to consult with representatives from each species in the task force. They discussed. They debated. They considered options. By the time they reached a decision, the raiders had finished loading their stolen goods and were preparing to jump to faster-than-light speeds. Forget this, Lisa muttered. Jake, get me a channel to our human ships only. Captain? Helen said with warning in her voice. Commander Zir is a good officer, but those raiders are about to get away with attacking a cooperative colony. We are not waiting anymore. Channel open, ma'am. All human vessels, this is Commodore Morgan. Break formation and pursue the raiders. Execute now. The 6 human ships in the task force, including the Valiant, broke away and accelerated hard toward the fleeing raiders. Behind them, Lisa could hear Zir's surprised protests. Commodore Morgan, you do not have authorization to do this. Then give me authorization, Lisa shot back. Or watch those pirates escape. Your choice, Commander. The human ships closed on the raiders fast. These were pirates, not military vessels, and they scattered when faced with organized resistance. Lisa's battle group picked them off methodically, disabling engines and destroying weapons. By the time the cooperative vessels caught up, the fight was over. 13 pirate ships were disabled. 2 had escaped, but the colony's stolen goods had been recovered. Commander Zier's holographic image appeared on the Valiant's bridge. They did not look happy. Commodore Morgan, what you did was a violation of protocols. You had no authority to act alone. I had authority to defend a cooperative colony from attack, Lisa interrupted. And if I had waited for the committee meeting to finish, those raiders would be long gone. Commander, with respect, this is why humans get frustrated working with cooperative forces. You are so worried about procedures that you forget to actually act. There was a long silence. Then, surprisingly, Zier's expression changed into what might have been a smile. You are not wrong, Commodore. Your tactics were effective, even if improper. I will note both facts in my report. The incident started a bigger debate within the cooperative military. Some species were angry at humanity's disregard for established procedures. Others quietly agreed that the committee approach sometimes prevented effective action. The compromise was the creation of rapid response units. These were smaller task forces with simpler command structures that could act quickly in emergencies. Human officers were frequently assigned to command these units. Lisa was promoted to admiral and given command of one of the largest rapid response fleets. Her reputation as the woman who dared the Krenth to try their luck had spread throughout cooperative space. But Lisa knew success could make people complacent, and that was dangerous. She kept her fleet drilling constantly, running combat scenarios that pushed her mixed human and alien crews to their limits. You are harder on them than any other commander, Helen observed during a particularly tough training exercise. Because I remember what it was like to face an enemy that outclassed us, Lisa replied. The Krenth are not gone, Helen. They are out there and they remember Earth. We need to be ready when they come back. Helen looked worried. You really think they will come back? I know they will. We hurt their pride. They marked our sector as defended, but that does not mean they have forgotten. One day they will want revenge. Lisa increased the training intensity. Her crews ran simulation after simulation. Attack patterns, defensive formations, emergency procedures. She made them practice until they could execute maneuvers in their sleep. Some of the alien crew members complained. They said Lisa was being too demanding, too harsh. But the human crew members understood. They had been at the first battle for Earth. They knew what was coming. Lisa also started gathering intelligence on the Krenth. She wanted to know everything about them. Their military doctrine, their ship designs, their tactics. She studied recordings of the first battle over and over, looking for patterns and weaknesses. You are obsessed, Helen said one night, finding Lisa still on the bridge at 3 a.m, reviewing tactical data. I am prepared, Lisa corrected. There is a difference. Is there? Lisa, you barely sleep anymore. You spend every waking moment thinking about the Krenth. Because someone has to. Everyone else thinks we are safe now. They think joining the cooperative solved all our problems. But the Krenth are still out there. They are still dangerous, and they will come back. Helen sat down next to her, and when they do, we will fight them. But you cannot fight them alone. You need to take care of yourself too. Lisa knew Helen was right, but she could not stop. Every instinct told her that time was running out. The Krenth would not wait forever. They would regroup, rebuild, and return. She was right. 3 years after the first Krenth attack, they came back. The warning came from cooperative deep space sensors. 27 Krenth vessels had crossed into cooperative space. They were heading directly for Earth. The fleet included 6 warships, each more heavily armed than the harvester that had first threatened humanity. This was not a harvesting mission. This was an invasion. Lisa received the alert while her fleet was stationed near the cooperative core worlds. They were 3 weeks away from Earth at maximum speed. Get us moving now, she ordered immediately, and send a message to Earth Command. Tell them the Krenth are coming in force. Tell them we are on our way. But even as her fleet raced toward Earth, she knew they would not arrive in time. The Krenth would reach Earth in 5 days. Her fleet would need 8 days minimum. Earth was not defenseless anymore. The planet now had a defensive fleet of 70 ships, all built with improved technology from the cooperative. Orbital defense platforms ringed the world. Every major city had surface-to-orbit defense batteries, but 70 ships against 27 better-armed vessels was still a fight that could go either way. Lisa contacted Admiral Hayes, now the overall commander of Earth Defense. Admiral, you need to hold them off for 8 days, she said. Hayes looked older and more tired than she remembered. We will do our best, Lisa, but I will be honest, this will not be easy. I know. But Admiral, remember what we learned last time. The Krenth ships are powerful, but they have weaknesses. Coordinate your fire, target their power systems. Do not let them isolate your ships. I remember. We have been training for this. The question is whether it will be enough. Lisa watched her tactical display as her fleet pushed their engines to maximum. They were still 7 days away. 7 long days while Earth fought for its survival. She had prepared for this moment. She had trained her crews and gathered intelligence. But now, when it mattered most, she was too far away to help. All she could do was watch and hope that Earth could hold on long enough for her to arrive. The Battle of Earth began on a Tuesday morning. The Krenth fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel just beyond the moon. They took up a formation that put Earth's moon between them and the defensive fleet. It was a smart move that limited the angles from which Earth's ships could fire. Admiral Hayes did not hesitate. All ships, forward formation. We engage them at the moon. Lisa watched the battle unfold through real-time transmissions. Her fleet was still 6 days away. On her bridge, the crew worked in tense silence as she tried to coordinate with other cooperative forces. I have 12 cooperative fleets converging on Earth, she told Hayes during a brief communication window. But the fastest is still 5 days away. You have to hold. We are holding, Hayes replied. The strain was clear in his voice. But Lisa, they are pressing us hard. We have lost 9 ships already. On the tactical display, Lisa watched Earth's defenders fighting with desperate courage. They had learned from the first battle. They coordinated their attacks to overwhelm point defense systems. They targeted weak subsystems instead of trying to punch through heavy armor. But the Krenth had learned too. Their fleet moved with practiced precision. They concentrated fire to eliminate human ships quickly before reinforcements could arrive. And they were winning. By day 3, Earth's defensive fleet was down to 42 operational ships. The Krenth had lost 5 vessels, but 22 remained, including all 6 heavy warships. Lisa felt helpless. She could only watch as Earth fought and died, still 3 days away from being able to help. Admiral Hayes is requesting permission to fall back to defensive orbit around Earth, Jake reported. Lisa studied the tactical display. If the fleet fell back, they would have support from orbital platforms and ground-based weapons. But they would also give the Krenth free access to bombard the planet. Tell him to hold position. We are 4 days out. If he can hold for 4 more days, we can turn this around. But then everything changed. Commodore, the Krenth are changing formation, Helen said urgently. They are dividing their fleet. On the display, half the Krenth vessels broke away from the main fight. They accelerated toward Earth itself. They are going to bypass the fleet and attack the planet directly, Lisa said. Ice filled her stomach. Admiral Hayes, you have Krenth ships heading for Earth. You need to intercept. If we break formation to chase them, the other half of their fleet will destroy us, Hayes replied. Lisa's mind raced. Hayes was right. If the human fleet broke formation, the Krenth warships would tear them apart. But if they did not break formation, Krenth ships would reach Earth and start bombardment. Then an idea hit her. Admiral, what if you do not chase them? What if you force the other Krenth ships to come to you? How? By threatening their command ship. Every fleet has a coordinator vessel. If you concentrate everything on destroying it, the rest of their fleet will have to react. They will have to come back to protect it. There was a pause. Then Hayes smiled grimly. It is risky. If we commit to that attack and fail, we will be out of position and vulnerable. It is a risk, Lisa agreed. But we are out of good options. Then we take the risk. All ships, new target. Krenth flagship, full attack run. Give them everything. The human fleet surged forward, ignoring the other Krenth vessels. They focused entirely on the largest enemy ship. Railguns fired. Missiles streaked through space. Energy weapons blazed. The Krenth flagship's shields glowed white-hot under the assault. And just as Lisa predicted, the other Krenth ships reacted. The vessels that had been heading for Earth reversed course. They raced back to protect their command ship. The Gambit bought precious time, hours while the Krenth regrouped and revised their strategy. Hours that brought Lisa's fleet closer, but the cost was terrible. Admiral Hayes pushed his fleet hard against the Krenth flagship. 3 more human ships were destroyed in the attack. The flagship's shields held, though they were weakening. On day 7, Lisa's rapid response fleet finally arrived in the system. Admiral Morgan to all ships. She broadcast on an open channel. She knew the Krenth would hear this. This is our world. You attacked it once and we drove you off. You came back and we are still here. You want to fight? Then fight us. But know this. Every ship you destroy, we will build 2 more. Every battle you win, we will learn from. We will never stop defending our home. She switched to a direct line with Admiral Hayes. Patrick, pull your fleet back. We are taking over. Lisa, you have 12 ships against 22. Those are not good odds. I have 12 cooperative ships with human crews who trained under me for 3 years. Trust me, Patrick. We have this. Hayes's battered fleet pulled back. Lisa's rapid response fleet moved forward. This was a different kind of battle. Lisa's ships were newer and faster. Her crews had worked together for years. They moved with precision that the Krenth could not match, coordinating their attacks flawlessly. More importantly, Lisa had 4 more cooperative fleets arriving within 12 hours. The Krenth had no reinforcements coming. All ships attack Pattern Sierra, Lisa ordered. Target their weapon systems first. I want them blind before we go for the kill. Her fleet split into 3 groups, each attacking from a different angle. The Krenth tried to concentrate their fire, but Lisa's ships were too fast. They darted in, fired, and pulled back before the Krenth could respond effectively. The battle turned into a grinding match. Lisa's fleet took casualties. The destroyer Hamilton took a direct hit and exploded. The frigate Carson lost its engines and had to be towed to safety, but they were destroying Krenth ships faster than they were losing their own. Enemy flagship shields are down to 30%, Nick reported from weapons. Focus fire. All ships target that flagship. Bring it down. The combined firepower of Lisa's fleet hammered the Krenth command ship. Its shields flickered and failed. Railgun slugs tore through its hull. Missiles found vulnerable points and detonated inside the ship. The flagship began to break apart. Krenth fleet is retreating, Jake called out. Multiple ships jumping to faster than light. Pursue the stragglers, Lisa ordered. Do not let them regroup. The first of the other cooperative fleets arrived just as the remaining Krenth ships tried to escape. Caught between Lisa's fleet and the newcomers, 3 more Krenth vessels were destroyed. The rest managed to jump away, fleeing back to Krenth space. When the battle ended, Lisa stood on the bridge of the Valiant and let herself breathe. Her hands were shaking. The adrenaline that had kept her going was fading, leaving exhaustion in its wake. Casualty reports, she said quietly. Earth Defense lost 17 ships total, Jake reported. We lost 3. Other cooperative forces lost 5 more, 25 ships, hundreds of crew members. The price of victory was always measured in lives, but Earth still stood. Humanity had faced its greatest test and survived. Admiral Hayes contacted her from Earth Command. His face was haggard, but his eyes were bright. You did it, Lisa. You saved us. We saved us, Lisa corrected. Earth's fleet, the cooperative, all of us together. That is the only way we survive out here, Patrick, by standing together. She looked at the tactical display, seeing the debris field where the battle had been fought. So many ships destroyed, so many people dead, but Earth was safe. Humanity had proven again that they would fight for their home with everything they had. The Krenth had learned that lesson twice now. Maybe this time it would stick. Over the next weeks there were ceremonies and speeches, celebrations for the victory, memorials for the fallen. The United Earth Council formally ratified full membership in the Galactic Cooperative. Lisa attended the memorial service, standing as names were read. So many names. But this time, among the grief, there was also pride. Humanity had proven itself, not as the strongest or most advanced species, but as people who would dare their enemies to try, and then make them pay for it. The galaxy had learned what Earth was capable of. 6 months after the second battle for Earth, Lisa stood in her quarters looking at a holographic star map. The cooperative territory dominated the display shown in blue. Earth was a small bright point within that blue expanse, but there were still vast stretches of space shown in gray. Unexplored regions where no one knew what existed. New worlds, new species, maybe new threats. The door chimed. Helen entered carrying a data pad. Admiral, we have new orders from the Council. They are assigning us to explore the uncharted regions beyond the cooperative border. Lisa studied the map, looking at all that unknown space. Then I guess we better get ready. When do we leave? 2 weeks. They are giving us an exploration fleet. 6 ships, mixed crews. They want us to make contact with any new species we find and assess potential threats. Lisa nodded slowly. This was different from combat operations. This was about discovery and diplomacy. But she knew why they chose her. Because if they found something hostile, she would know how to handle it. Over the next 2 weeks, Lisa met with her new crew. The exploration fleet included ships from 5 different cooperative species, plus 2 human vessels. The Valiant would lead, with Lisa as fleet commander. Among the new crew members was a young ensign named Danny Cooper. He was fresh from the academy, eager and nervous. Lisa found him in the mess hall the day before departure, staring at the star maps. "First deep space assignment?" she asked. Danny jumped, not having heard her approach. "Yes, Admiral. I'm excited but also a little scared. That is normal. The unknown is always scary. But it is also where we find the most interesting things." Lisa sat down across from him. "What made you want to join exploration?" "I grew up hearing stories about the first contact with the Krynth, about how you stood up to them. I wanted to be part of something like that. Something that mattered." Lisa smiled. "Exploration matters. Every star system we map, every species we meet peacefully, that is building a better future. It might not be as dramatic as a battle, but it is just as important. Do you think we will find hostile species out there? Maybe, probably. The galaxy is big and full of different civilizations. Some will be friendly. Some will not be. That is why we bring weapons along with our sensors. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst." The exploration fleet departed on schedule. They jumped to faster-than-light speeds, heading for the edge of known space. The journey took 3 days. When they dropped back into normal space, they were at the border of cooperative territory. Beyond this point, everything was unknown. "All ships begin scanning," Lisa ordered. "Let us see what is out here." The fleet moved forward slowly, sensors sweeping space ahead of them. They found asteroid fields rich in rare metals. They found empty systems with no planets, just gas and dust. They found the remains of ancient civilizations long dead. It was both exciting and lonely. Out here, they were weeks away from the nearest cooperative outpost. If they got into trouble, help would take a long time to arrive. 3 weeks into their mission, they found something unusual. "Admiral, we are detecting artificial structures in the next system," Jake reported. "Multiple orbital installations, but no active power signatures." "Take us in carefully," Lisa said. "Battle stations, but hold fire unless threatened." The fleet entered the system and found something sad. A dead world, once inhabited but now lifeless. The orbital installations were ruins, damaged by weapons fire. On the planet's surface, scans showed the remains of cities. "What happened here?" Helen wondered. "War, probably," Lisa said. "The question is when and with whom." They sent teams to investigate the orbital ruins. What they found told a grim story. This civilization had been attacked by the Krynth about 15 years ago. They had fought back but lost. The Krynth had harvested their world and moved on, leaving nothing but ruins. Lisa recorded everything. This needed to be reported back to the cooperative. The Krynth were more aggressive than anyone had realized. As they prepared to leave the dead system, sensors detected something. A small ship was hiding in the asteroid belt at the edge of the system. It was powered down but still intact. "Hail them," Lisa ordered. At first, there was no response. Then a weak signal came back. The translation software worked to decode it. "Please do not hurt us. We are refugees. We mean no harm." Lisa felt her heart clench. "Tell them we are here to help. We are not Krynth." It took hours to coax the refugee ship out of hiding. When it finally approached, Lisa could see it was barely functional. Life support was failing. The engines were damaged. They brought the refugees aboard the Valiant. There were 20 of them, all that remained of their species. They were thin and scared, having lived in that hiding spot for months, afraid to move or make any noise that might attract attention. Through the translators, their leader, whose name was something like Krell, told their story. The Krynth came without warning. They said our world had resources they wanted. We tried to negotiate. They attacked. We fought, but we were not strong enough. Most of us died. These few escaped in this ship. We have been hiding ever since, afraid to go anywhere because we do not know who else might be out there. Lisa felt anger burning in her chest. This was what the Krynth did. They found worlds and took what they wanted, destroying entire civilizations without a second thought. "You are safe now," Lisa told Krell. "We will take you to cooperative space. There are refugee programs that can help you." "You are from the cooperative?" Krell asked, hope in their voice. "Yes, And the cooperative protects refugees. You will have a place to live, resources to survive. You are not alone anymore." The refugees wept. Lisa left them with the medical team and returned to the bridge. She sent a detailed report back to Earth Command and the Cooperative Council, including everything they had found. The response came 2 days later. The Council was disturbed by the evidence of Krenth aggression. They authorized Lisa to continue her exploration mission, but also to establish monitoring stations along the border. If the Krenth tried to expand into this region, the Cooperative would know. Over the next months, Lisa's fleet explored system after system. They found 3 more refugee groups, all hiding from various threats. They found evidence of Krenth activity going back decades. They also found 2 new species that had not yet developed space travel, which they carefully observed without making contact. But the biggest discovery came 4 months into the mission. They entered a system and immediately detected dozens of ships. A full fleet, but not Krenth. These ships were different, sleeker, and more advanced than anything Lisa had seen. "Battle stations," she ordered, "but do not fire unless fired upon. Jake, try to hail them." The response came quickly. A holographic figure appeared on the bridge. This species looked insect-like, with a hard exoskeleton and multiple limbs, but their eyes were intelligent and their voice through the translator was calm. "Unknown vessels, you have entered Zalari space. State your purpose." Lisa stepped forward. "I am Admiral Lisa Morgan of the Galactic Cooperative. We are on an exploration mission. We did not know this system was claimed." "We mean no harm." The Zalari representative studied her. "The Galactic Cooperative. We have heard of you. You are the humans who defeated the Krenth. We defended our world, yes. Then we welcome you, Admiral Morgan. The enemy of the Krenth is a friend to the Zalari. We would be pleased to establish diplomatic relations." The meeting with the Zalari changed everything. Lisa and her officers were invited to the Zalari flagship, a massive vessel that made the Valiant look small. They were greeted with courtesy and taken to a conference room where Zalari leaders waited. The lead diplomat, who introduced herself as Matriarch Sira, gestured for them to sit. The furniture had been modified for human use, which Lisa appreciated. "We have monitored cooperative space for some time," Sira said. "We knew of your existence, but we choose to remain isolated. The galaxy is dangerous and we have learned to be cautious. But you are willing to talk to us now," Lisa said. "Because you fought the Krenth. Twice. And won both times." Sira's mandibles clicked in what might have been approval. "That is impressive. The Krenth are powerful. Most species they encounter either surrender or die. You fought?" "We did not have much choice," Lisa replied. "They came to our world and threatened to harvest it. We could not allow that. No, you could not. And that is why we wish to talk. The Zalari have also fought the Krenth 3 times over the past century. We won each time, but barely. They grow stronger while we struggle to hold our borders." Helen leaned forward. "You want an alliance. We want to discuss the possibility. The Zalari Empire spans 40 systems. We have advanced technology and a strong military. But we are alone. The Cooperative offers allies and mutual defense. This interests us." Over the next week, Lisa's fleet remained in Zalari space while diplomats talked. Lisa participated in some meetings, sharing information about cooperative organization and defensive strategies. The Zalari were cautious but genuinely interested. What Lisa learned about them was impressive. The Zalari had been fighting the Krenth for longer than humans had known aliens existed. They had developed weapons and tactics specifically designed to counter Krenth advantages. Their ships were fast and their weapons were powerful, but they were tired. A century of constant vigilance and occasional warfare had strained their resources. They wanted allies, but they also wanted to maintain their independence. Lisa understood that feeling. "The Cooperative is not about submission," she told Matriarch Sira during one private conversation. "It is about working together. Each species maintains its own government, its own military. We just coordinate when facing common threats. Like the Krenth, and any other threat that might emerge. The galaxy is big, Matriarch. There are dangers we have not even encountered yet. Facing them alone is harder than facing them together." Sira considered this. "You speak wisdom, Admiral. I will recommend to our council that we pursue membership discussions, but it will take time. The Zalari do not make quick decisions. Neither did humans," Lisa said with a smile. "But we got there eventually." Before leaving Zalari space, Lisa was given a gift. a data chip containing Zalari intelligence on Krenth military operations over the past century. Ship designs, tactics, known bases. It was invaluable information. Use this well, Sira said. The Krenth will come again. They always do. Next time, be ready. Lisa's fleet continued their exploration mission for another 2 months before returning to cooperative space. They had made first contact with the Zalari, rescued 4 groups of refugees, mapped 73 star systems, and gathered massive amounts of data on Krenth activity. The Cooperative Council was very pleased. Lisa was commended for her diplomatic success with the Zalari. The refugee groups were settled on various cooperative worlds, and the intelligence on the Krenth was distributed to military commanders across cooperative space. Lisa was offered a promotion to Fleet Admiral and a position at cooperative military headquarters. It would mean a desk job, coordinating operations across multiple sectors. She turned it down. I appreciate the offer, she told the council, but I am not a desk officer. I belong on a ship in space doing the work. Premier Hughes, who was attending via holographic link, smiled. We thought you might say that. Then how about this? We are creating a new rapid response group, larger than your current fleet. 20 ships with authorization to operate independently across cooperative space. We want you to command it. That was different. 20 ships with freedom to act as needed. Lisa could work with that, I accept. Her new fleet was impressive. 20 of the newest ships with the best crews. They were given a broad mandate to respond to threats, assist member species, and patrol border regions. Lisa trained them hard. They ran combat drills, diplomatic scenarios, rescue operations. She wanted them ready for anything. Jake, who had been promoted to commander, served as her fleet communications officer. Helen was promoted to captain and given command of one of the new ships. Many of her old Valiant crew moved to positions throughout the fleet. They were not just a military force. They were a family. People who trusted each other with their lives. 2 years passed. The fleet responded to pirate raids, natural disasters on cooperative worlds, and border incursions by hostile species. They made first contact with 3 new civilizations, 2 friendly and 1 neutral. The Zalari officially joined the cooperative after 18 months of negotiations, bringing their 40 systems and advanced technology into the alliance. Lisa received word that the Krenth had been quiet. No major attacks, no harvesting operations in cooperative space. Intelligence suggested they were consolidating their forces, but no one knew why. That worried Lisa more than open warfare would have. The Krenth were planning something. She increased patrols along the Krenth border. Her fleet maintained constant vigilance, but months passed with no incidents. Then one day everything changed again. Lisa was on the bridge when sensors detected something massive jumping into normal space. The signature was like nothing they had seen before. What is that? Helen asked from her ship. The object resolved on the main screen. It was huge, at least 20 kilometers long, but it was not a ship. It was a station, and it was moving. We are receiving a transmission, Jake said. It is in multiple languages, including English. A holographic figure appeared. This species looked crystalline, their body reflecting light in rainbow patterns. When they spoke, their voice was like music. Greetings, Galactic Cooperative. I am Harmonizer Teal of the Ascended Collective. We have been watching your development with great interest. The time has come for formal introductions. Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. The Ascended Collective. She had heard rumors of them. Ancient species with technology that seemed like magic. They rarely involved themselves in galactic affairs. This is Admiral Lisa Morgan. We are honored by your contact. How can we help you? It is not what you can do for us, Admiral. It is what we can do for you. A great threat is approaching, something that will challenge not just the cooperative, but all life in this galaxy. We wish to help you prepare. What kind of threat? One that makes the Krenth seem insignificant by comparison. But that is a discussion for your leaders, not for open transmission. Will you meet with us? Lisa looked at her crew. This was beyond anything they had trained for. But this was why they were out here. To face the unknown. Yes. We will meet. Over the following weeks, Lisa found herself at the center of something bigger than she had ever imagined. The Ascended Collective shared information about ancient threats that slept in dark corners of the galaxy. Threats that were beginning to wake. The Cooperative Council listened with growing alarm. If what the Ascended said was true, the conflicts with the Krenth were just preparation for something far worse. New alliances were formed. New technologies were shared. The galaxy was entering a new age, one where old enemies might have to become allies to face a common threat. Lisa stood on the bridge of the Valiant, looking at the stars. She thought about how far humanity had come. 3 years ago, they had been alone, facing their first alien contact with fear and determination. Now they were part of a galactic community, with allies and friends across the stars. They had proven themselves in battle. They had shown courage and wisdom, but the journey was not over. It was just beginning. Whatever came next, whatever threats the darkness held, humanity would face them. Not alone, but standing with allies they had earned through blood and bravery. Lisa smiled. The future was uncertain and probably dangerous, but humans had never backed down from a challenge. They would dare whatever came to try them, and they would be ready.